Hello everyone, this is Jason Chapa, your instructor for Speech 1311. For this Hangout, which I see there's no one here yet, but that's okay. I did send the link out on the dot. I'm going to go over our next major assignments, which are going to be the interviews, the mock interview, and the personal career interview. Now, since this is a mini-mester and we don't have too many weeks left, I'm highly going to recommend that you all get the culture assignment completed as soon as possible so that you're not rushing through and getting everything done. I'll be grading those this week, though I've graded, I think, one or two of them that I've received now. But I'll grade them as soon as I can and get y'all feedback on them. But please get those in pretty quickly because we are running out of time. Mini-mester isn't going to last forever. And if you don't get those major assignments done, it's going to really affect your grade a lot. So these next major assignments, the personal interview and the mock interview, let me go ahead and explain those real quick. Now, for the personal interview assignment, what you'll be doing is you're going to find someone who works in a field that you'd like to work in, either job or career. And you're going to contact this person and you're going to interview them either through email, through the phone, whatever, to really find out how they got the job, what do they think of their job, whatever you want to know about their job or career. That's what I want you to ask about. So you'll come up with about 10 to 15 questions, interview this person for about 15-30 minutes, not too long, not too short. Just make sure that you always give them enough, you give them the time, put the ball in their court to see how long they talk to you. Take notes or record it. Make sure you have permission to do both of those with them. And then you'll write a 1 to 2 page typed double-space essay on what you learned from this interview with them. And the point of that is to just kind of summarize their answers to me and tell me what you really got out of that. Hopefully by doing this, you'll get to learn more about what you need to do to get that job that's similar to them. Yeah. That's the first major thing. The second one is going to be a mock interview. Now the mock interview, what you'll be doing is you're going to, again, find a real job ad for something that you're interested in, for something for your career or your job or whatever. I see that there's a few of y'all watching already, so that's good. Hopefully y'all will join us soon. But yeah, one viewer, good. Hello, viewer. Oh, 0 viewers. I scared them away. Okay, so what you'll be doing is they're back. For this, okay, I'm just gonna wait because I don't want to have to explain this too much times as we have viewers. So yeah, viewers, what I just did before y'all joined up is I explained the first major assignment, well, the next one of the next two. There's two, a personal career interview assignment and a mock job interview assignment. And I'll go ahead and explain what you have to do for those. So just watch the beginning if you want to see the personal career interview assignment. For the mock interview, you'll find a job that you're interested in, job or career. It can be anywhere in the world. As you'll find a real job posting, and then you're going to pretty much apply for that job and be interviewed for that job. So the way that you interview for that job is you're going to research 15 to 20 questions for job interviews. You'll pick the questions that you think would be most appropriate to that job that you're going for, and then you'll either record yourself being interviewed for the job by somebody else, answering the questions. Someone else interviews you. Or you'll send me the questions and I'll interview you through Google Hangout, if I can get a new phone, through telephone, or any number of virtual things. Maybe even in person if you come by my office, and we can do it that way. But I'll interview you, or you record yourself being interviewed for the job, 15 to 20 questions. You come up with questions. You practice your answers. Make sure that you don't just get the answers or think of them while you're in the hot seat for the grade. You know, be sure you rehearse a bit before you go into it. And that's the two next major assignments. The personal career interview, to summarize, where you contact someone who you both tried to call me. The personal interview where you find someone who who works in a job that you want to work for, a career field that you want to work in. Interview them like with about 10 to 15 questions. Ask them what they think of the job, how they got the job, what are some things that they learned on the job, anything you want to know about working in that field. Ask them, record it, write it down, take notes, and you're going to submit a 1 to 2 page paper on what you learned from this interview. So that's the first major assignment. The second major assignment is a mock interview. You find a job posting for a job that you're interested in, research 15 to 20 questions, and this is real important. You'll either send me the questions and I'll interview you using as much questions as I can get through in about 5 to 10 minutes, or you record yourself being interviewed by somebody else, and it can be through video or audio, either's fine. Then you send that to me and I'll grade you, give you some critique. And that's what you do. Those are the next two major assignments. This one's usually easy to get through because, again, rather than you being on your own to deal with it, you can involve me and I can, you know, track you down and email and interview you if need be. So that's the next major thing. You see there's 3 viewers. That's good. I'll go ahead and if there's any questions now that y'all have, feel free to log in a bit, use a group chat, or use the say something on the Google Hangout page. And I'll just answer questions as I receive them. If there's any problems y'all have with the content or whatever, do that as well. If I need to grade something and I missed it, just kind of send me a little reminder through Blackboard so that I can get that. I will hopefully get a lot of work in over the weekend, and I'll get that graded as quick as I can. So yeah, I'm going to open up to questions now. I've already said my piece. If you need a little summary, I can go over everything else again, or you can just, you know, watch the beginning of this video where I go over everything. But yeah, the point is for me to answer any questions y'all have now. So I'm going to mute my mic, but I'm going to wait for anyone else to come in. Just toss me questions, please. I do get a little weirded out talking to myself so much. I'm here to help, and I'll be here to help you for the next maybe 20 minutes, maybe more if need be. I'm going to mute it for now and just wait for some questions. Okay, so Janie's question is, hello, for the mock interview, the questions we develop, are they going to be the ones you're going to ask us? I'm a bit confused. Okay, well, yeah, the ones that you pick for the job. Okay, there's 2 interviews, and we're going to focus on the mock interview one. Y'all will pick, research 15 to 20 interview questions that would be specific to the job, or that you would think you would hear in a job interview for that. You're probably thinking, okay, well, how do I come up with those questions? Let me go ahead and show you something real quick, because for any job, chances are you'll find some interview questions, some sample ones. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share right now and show you all what I just found. Like for, you know, some of y'all probably want to be teachers, and that's one thing that you can find pretty easy. You see, I just Googled, you know, teacher interview questions. Here are some 15 popular interview questions answered. Not only do they give the questions, like, you know, tell me a little about yourself, but they tell you how you should answer them. I'll put this link on the page. So again, here's a good one. Let's pretend it's almost the first day of school and you're a first grade teacher. How do you prepare your classroom? So yeah, that's a real good specific question. You'll come up with 10 to 15 of these, maybe even 20 if you want to over-prepare for the mock interview. And then you can send them to me, and we'll set up a time for me to interview you using those questions. and over about 5 to 10 minutes, I'll get through as many questions as possible. I'll ask you them. You'll answer using the best responses you can come up with, and then after we're done, I'll give you some constructive feedback and I'll grade you. So that's what you do. You either come up with research the questions appropriate for the job you're applying for, send me the questions and I'll interview you, or you record yourself being interviewed by somebody else for this job interview and I'll grade you on that. So hopefully that helps. I'm going to share a link now. Go ahead and stop sharing. I'm going to share a link on the board of some popular interview questions. Okay, so I just shared them. They should be coming up right now. It's a different link, but hopefully that answered your question. If you have more questions, feel free to ask. I'll go ahead and mute the mic, but I'm here to answer y'all's questions. So get them all out, message them to me, and yeah, we'll hopefully clarify things. Well, while I'm waiting for more questions, just something that I wanted to say is when you're coming up with your interview answers for the questions, the best thing you can do is to think of evidence or examples for your interview questions. So one common question that you always get for interviews is, tell me your strengths as an employee. And you may be tempted to say, oh, well, I'm a hard worker, I'm truthful, I'm honest. That's okay to have those traits, but everyone's going to say something like that. So rather than say you're a hard worker, instead say, well, one of my strengths is I'm a hard worker because, and then answer, tell why you're a hard worker. So if you're thinking of ways to do that, you can say, oh, well, I'm a hard worker. I'm going to school full time. I'm also working a part-time job to help, cover the bills for that. And I'm still maintaining both so-and-so average in my grades, as well as, I've been gotten promotions for working. So show me how you're a hard worker with your words. In fact, for any answer you can, show them, don't tell. Give them evidence as to why you are a certain thing. You have to use every single question to prove to them and yourself why you're the best candidate. So yeah, that's one tip that I can, and it also kind of helps control the communication. It gives them things for them to ask you about specifically that you want them to ask about, rather than going through the question. All right, Belinda, yeah, you're currently employed. Can I use questions that I use for work, or can they be made up? Of course, go ahead and use a question that you use for work. That's perfectly fine. Just make sure that you can cater them to a specific job, or like if it's for your work and you want to keep working where you work, maybe look up or ask about questions that they would ask if you're going for a promotion or if you're going to advance. So yeah, you can use, if you've experienced, like, you can use any questions you've heard before, but just cater them specifically to this job. Janie just asked, what about for the resume and cover letter? Yeah, you can use the one that you did for the previous assignment. That's okay, that's fine. Usually the way that previously I've had it is to where you'll submit that through that assignment, but don't worry. If you've already submitted it through the written assignment through Blackboard, then you're covered for it. So yeah, you can just reuse that resume and cover letter, no problem. Really, the purpose of that activity is to kind of get familiar with writing them and putting together a resume and cover letter. But yeah, you can reuse that resume and cover letter. And also, if you want, like if you send me the questions, but you're going to videotape yourself being interviewed by somebody, I can always give you some constructive feedback on them if you want. Or you can just send me the questions. And usually what I do is if you want me to interview you, I'll stick mostly to the script. I may throw you a few curveballs. That's only just so you can see if it's to see if you can adapt to that situation. Because again, in real job interviews, you're never going to know all the questions they're going to tell you. You never know what's going to happen. But being able to think on your feet is always a good thing. So yes, hopefully I answered those two questions. You can reuse the cover letter and resume that you already turned in. Sorry if it wasn't clear. And yeah, you can use questions from where you work. It's fine. Just be sure that you kind of cater them to the job that you're going for in this mock interview. So yeah, these are a lot of good questions I've gotten so far. Hopefully y'all can send me more, or if there's any comments, go ahead. We'll be around for 10 more minutes about, or longer if need be. But another thing I can't stress enough is if you haven't already, kind of try and get that group culture assignment done. If you can't find a group, it's okay if you do it by yourself, but if you can get it done as soon as possible, that'd be great, because yeah, it's a mini semester, and I've already had some people drop, but if you can't complete anything working to the drop date is soon going to be spiraling upon us. So yeah, please try and keep up to date on that. I know you have till the end of the semester to complete everything, but you don't want to get too far behind. The midterm is going to, if it's not already, it should, let me go ahead and double check. It's going to be online in the exams. What you'll do is that it's several, okay, well, I need to update the dates, but the midterm is in the exams folder. There's the midterm and the final, so if you wanted to actually get those both done, you could. The due dates, I'll update those, but don't go by those due dates. Everything's due by the end of the semester. The midterm covers chapter 1 through 6. It's 10 essay questions. You can start working on that and get that to me whenever you can. I'll grade it as soon as possible. But yeah, there is a midterm, but it should already be available as well as the final. So both of those are there under the exams folder on the left side of the Blackboard. Yes, I'll go ahead and update the dates. I'm going to go ahead and put the midterm. It's a soft due date, so I'm going to put the midterm due date for the middle of next week. So I'll give you all about 1 week to do that. The finals, I'm going to put, let me find the last day of the class, and I'll go ahead and update them. I'll update them to the ones on the syllabus, but again, you get it to me. Whenever you can, within the mini-master, I'll grade them. Let me go ahead and update those dates to the ones on the syllabus. Okay, so I've already updated the dates for the exams. I put the midterm is due by February 22nd. That's giving y'all a few more days from the one on the syllabus, but again, get it in as soon as possible. I'll grade it. The final is due March 11th. That is the last day of the mini-master. So if you haven't gotten everything completed by then, or you don't think you can get everything completed by then, let me know, because that is the absolute last day. Everything can be turned in March 11th. Yeah, we'll have about 5 more minutes, and then we'll go ahead and wrap things up. But if you have any more questions, feel free to add them. No, thank y'all for coming. I really appreciate not just talking to myself with these things. I have other classes that go. So I'll go ahead and wrap things up. Any other questions y'all have, I'll answer on this thing, the main page there. But thanks for coming. Hopefully I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.